We are live. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm so blessed to have you here watching my interview with this amazing guest that I have today. I hope your day is well. And I encourage you, I actually want you to share our video, share our interview today, because my guest coming from hell on paradise, on earth, he likes to call it paradise on earth. He lives in hell, Norway. But we'll share more about it when I bring him back. Stay with me to meet Joachim. Good morning or afternoon. What is it? Good evening.
It's afternoon. Howdy from hell in Norway, paradise on earth. It's afternoon. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon here. So
6 o'clock. How are you, Joachim? Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's actually Hebrew, so I have no idea how they say it. I just say Joachim, but
Joachim.
yeah, anything goes.
Well, I'm so honored to have you with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be my guest on Be Victorious.
No, thank you for having me.
I think you're a victorious, amazing person. We have Debbie with us. Hi, Debbie.
Debbie, how are you?
Great to see you too. Joachim, tell everybody, how did we meet? How do we know each other? That's the first question.
I think we met through Ken Walls. I'm fairly sure we met through Ken Walls because I've been following Ken Walls and his Ken and Glenn show and Ken and Glenn and a guy named Scott show.
Yes.
And then through that, I've been introduced to Ken and Ken Walls, and then going into the Grow Live Academy, which is tremendous value. And I love the weekly sessions we have every Thursday, or for me, it's actually Friday morning. So it's Friday morning at 2. That would be a.m., isn't it, in the morning?
Wow.
So I've been up until, I got up at 2:45 o'clock this morning. So it's I'm a bit tired, but that's fine. But I think that's where we met. I would say so, yeah.
But see, this is one of the reasons why I believe you're one of the many reasons I believe you're victorious, because you woke up at 2 a.m. to be in a mastermind call with Ken Walls in our group. And then you worked all day. You're still at the office right now. And, it's 6 o'clock. You are in a show to talk about who you are and what is it that you do. So that's a victorious attitude. And I'm just so honored. Tell us, so you live in Norway, you say hell. This is what do you mean hell? Is that the name of the
It's a small place called Hell in Norway. So it's the name hell in Norwegian. It's a bit different than the meaning in English. So it's kind of like a sheath of rock, like you have, because the type of rock that you have at that area is kind of, I think it's sheaths of rock or something. Yeah, that's hell. And also another meaning of hell in Norwegian is fortunate. So if you're fortunate, you have hell, which is a bit opposite of English. Yeah, but no, it's fascinating. I live in hell. My kids and my wife is from hell, and of course, my mother-in-law is from hell. So that's I always pull that joke when I'm doing presentations international, and everyone laughs at that. So that's
you live on paradise, and that's what we're gonna.
It's paradise, yeah. For me, it's paradise, yeah.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. And so I know that you went through a few changes in your life, especially in your physical.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yep.
Some changes.
Big changes. I mean, it's I feel victorious because I used to be about 50 kilos. That's about 110 pounds or something. Yeah, 50 kilos heavier. And
that's what you lost?
That's what I lost.
Wow.
So losing that's one thing, but staying down at that weight, that's the challenge. And it's a challenge every day. So I feel victorious every evening. I really feel victorious because I start my days with my morning routine. So I'm up at 4:17 every morning, and I do exactly the same every morning because I need to have that routine because I mentioned to you earlier before going live, it's not easy to break a habit. You can't just break a habit by saying, I will stop doing that. That doesn't work like that. So you have to find something else to do. So in the morning, I get up in the morning, I meditate, I do my writing, I do my reading. I talk very much to myself positively, and then I do my workouts. So that's when I do my lives in the morning, strolling through hell. And that's also part of what I really like to focus on when you want to be victorious is rewarding yourself.
Yes.
And I have some, I think, fairly peculiar rewards, because if I have time in the morning to combine my strolling with working out, my reward is that I'm allowed to work out.
I know.
so
Look, Debbie has a question. Why 417? Why does
417? I'm part of Team 17. Michael Heppel, he's a British author on self-help. He's actually one of the world's best talkers, like on having speakers, I would say.
Speaker? Yes.
Norwegian talker. Yeah, he's a speaker, and he has a group called Team 17, and he wrote a book called 17. And I started following him through following Jeffrey Gitomer when he started he had a 9:59 live. And then I started following Michael Heppel. He has Team 17. So it's 17 minutes. You can do it a lot. For me, it's 4:17. So that's why I'm up at 4:17.
So does your alarm ring at 4:17?
I use my Apple Watch. So it's just no sound. I hate sound. I'm not made for sound. So I can't, like, for instance, I cannot have air conditioning in my house because I will just be
disturbed.
Yeah, disturbed. So I just use my Apple Watch, so it just
vibrates and it wakes you up.
Vibrates and I wake up. Normally I wake up before it.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah. No, it's like Brian Tracy says, you can adjust yourself to wake up at any time you want. So and when I go to bed at night, I just say I will be up at 4:17 and I will be awake and ready to jump out of bed. Action.
See, the mindset is so important, and it's so. And I know that, you know, speaking of being victorious, I know that you're victorious because you're so organized. You know that you're waking up, and you know that you're gonna do the walk, and you have your routine going, and
and I have everything sorted out because I lay out my apparel in the evening, because I know that any obstacle, especially when you're tired, any obstacle, you won't do it, because it's all about forming habits. And no matter how many times you do a good habit, the old habits that you've had for years, they are there. It's still very easy to do that. So I try to make it as easy as possible. So I do my I write my what do you call it, affirmations in the morning, and I use my iPad to do that. So that's beside me when I'm doing my quiet time, my meditations. I have the iPad beside me, so I know when I'm done with that, I start writing. And it's just a matter of making it easy for yourself. You're preparing yourself for victory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also know you have that's. It's so important. I know you're a father. You have three children.
Kids. Yep.
Are you working with your kids along? Do they follow your habits, and are they?
No. In the morning, I'm ready. I'm done with my routine when they wake up. So I'm very fortunate. My wife, she's a teacher, so she has kind of the same morning pattern like the kids. But I told her if anytime they want me to assist them, I'll be there. But they normally don't wake up until I go to the office. So it's my habit. I can adjust for being with them in the morning, but I'm rather with them in the afternoon.
Right.
And like now I'm in the office because I know they are at the youth club. So I will spend most of the time in the weekend with them, but not the mornings, because the mornings are mine. I I mean, I prepare myself for helping them and others at my best, and I do that when I can focus the mornings on myself.
It's important to have time for ourselves.
Yeah.
I take Alma to school and then I come back and that's my time. And
Yeah.
also at night, I put her to bed and I take the time and it's my time. And
Yeah. Yeah,
we do.
nighttime is a bit shorter when you're up at 4:17. You need to you can't be a late night person. So I'm probably reading and then sleeping at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm not much of an evening person. So
We can be both, right? Tell us about what is it that you do. So I know you're an international rock star.
well, yeah, I'm not maybe not a rock star. I actually I am an international aquaculture idol though. I
See?
did win that, yeah,
You're
because
an international rock star.
everything I do it all in.
Yes.
So I was working in a company that's probably 15 years ago, and they were arranging aquaculture idol just in the pattern of the world idol. So I was challenged by my boss. You have to participate. And of course I won, because when I participate in anything, I go all in. So I rented a guitar, I did everything, and I won that aquaculture idol. So, but anyways, I make sustainable production of food and energy at sea possible all over the world. So that's basically, I design system, I can certify system, I can verify systems. I don't do the production, and you can choose if you want to do fish, if you want to do shellfish, if you want to do seaweed. That's all up to you. I'll help you make the system to do it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I love it. I mean, I grew up with my father owning a fish farm, so I was probably 8 years old when I started splicing the first mooring system, like the rope systems for holding them in place. And then my education, I just got my master's degree in marine technology. So I'm actually a naval architect, not a belly button naval architect, but naval ocean architect.
Yes.
And I just love it. When I do that, I can work all day, all night, and my time will just flow, and I will just be in the zone. So that's my passion. And as I told you, I could have done it alone, but I need to access certain levels of organizations. And I work in a company, and my CEO and owner, he is amazing. He has been working a long time in the industry. So as I told you, if I want to talk to the minister, he just calls him and I can talk to him. It's that kind of network, and that's sometimes we need that. So for me, that's better working in a company. And I've been working international since 2000. So I've been all over where you have aquaculture.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, I like it.
And you're so passionate about studying and learning, and you're always trying to do better and learning, and not only that, but teaching others about what you're studying, right?
Yeah, I do. And it's not, I always, if I get a challenge, of course I try to look for the who, but I always try to look for the what, because I love to learn new things. So like now when we have the war going on in Ukraine, the first thing I started doing was studying history, trying to learn more about what's the background of this thing, which fascinates me. And then through that, I got into a book about Vikings, and then I started learning about new technologies for carbon dating and trying to find out where the people came from. And as I told you, you can actually observe the bones, like the ribs. The rib bones they kind of get more renewed. So if you have different isotopes in your ribs compared to the rest of the body, they know that you've been moving around lately just by looking at your skeleton. I find it fascinating because you can look at the what you call the covering on the teeth, the hard thingy. Well, anyways, the isotopes in your teeth, you grow up with those, so they will know where you grew up by checking your teeth. So they can find out, okay, where do you come from, and where did you live, where did you go, where did you go there, and I love it. For me, that was new information, and I just love learning it. So
But I have a question. You're learning so much. You're working so much.
Mhm.
Are you studying and learning all this maybe on your train ride? Because I know you take the train from home to the office.
Yep. Yep.
How do
Well,
you find time? Because listen,
well,
all the people that I talk to,
yeah.
everybody says, "Oh, I don't have time." That's the number one
No, I
excuse.
always have time. I'm never busy. I'm
How?
never busy. It's 24 hours a day. I spend when I go to the office in the morning, I spend about half an hour listening to Brian Tracy every morning.
Right.
And when I go back, I listen to self-help books, or I can listen to. I've been listening to. Well, he's in the media a lot now. Will Smith. His autobiography is amazing. I've listened to Matthew McConaughey's autobiography because they've read them themselves. So on Audible, it's like watching a movie, and it's tremendous. It's amazing stories.
Yes.
And then I read a lot, so I don't watch television. So
Okay.
if I have time, I would either read or watch a documentary, or spend time with the kids, of course. But that's different because they are occupied doing lots of stuff, and then I can read. And I don't know. I've always been into reading books. It's just fascinates me. So I've been trying to check up on time because we are talking about. They all say the subconscious mind doesn't have a concept of time, and it can't have because time doesn't exist. There is no thing as time. It's something we made up.
Yeah.
So if you and
I love
it's
that.
and what fascinates me is we have these seconds. It's so important. We are so much into a second. Well, what's a second? We don't know. It's nothing. It's ridiculous. So why do you say you're busy? Just take the time, invest the time in yourself.
And do what you love. And
Yeah.
I admire you for doing what you love and for being so passionate about it. And
Yep.
it's the same when you do something that you truly believe in your heart that it's good for you. It just like this. It just fulfilling, right?
Yeah. And it's just it sounds silly. It sounds so easy. But if you want to be happy, you'll be happy. It's and you can be in. I've
True.
been in bad situations. You're exposed to a lot of things, and you can't all the time do everything with anything with what surrounds you. But any reaction you have to it, that's all up to you. So if you were asking about the weather, and for me, I love the weather. I love the weather if it's raining, stormy, if it's sunny. I'm not too passionate about too warm weather because then I'm very, very hard to do running in warm weather. But I love it anyway. But it's just a mindset, and it's just about, in Norway we have a saying, it doesn't exist bad weather, it's just about bad clothing. So put on the right clothing, you can expose yourself to anything, and you should. I and if it's a hurricane outside, of course I do not recommend you going outside, but try to listen to it, listen to the forces, listen to that, and you can just realize that you're part of a nature which has no limits to the forces. It's no limits to the energy, and we're just part of that energy. That's what we are.
Everything around us, including us, is
Yeah,
energy,
it's
right?
pure energy.
And it's so important how we react and
Yep.
how we respond.
Yeah.
What reactions do we have, and what responses do we have with what's
Yeah.
happening around us and within
Yeah.
us?
And it's all about thinking. It's all about how do you approach it? How do you choose to think? And there or you can have a lot of ideas, of course, just because they're instant. So you can't do much about kind of the instant thinking. But what you do with it, you can let it just go by, or you can kind of focus on it. And that's all up to you.
Yes. Tell us more about work.
Yep.
I know you were in Canada
Yep.
and you did projects there.
Yep.
And how about where's the biggest place for what you do? What's your biggest market?
Oh, it depends. If you just look at in aquaculture, there's a big market for salmon, and that's the biggest market for salmon is Norway, and then you have number two is Chile. And I used to live in Chile I moved to Chile in 2001, December 2001, and then I moved back to Norway again in 2005. So I was living in Chile basically to make the market, because with my background and my knowledge, it's a niche product. So it's very easy to be the rock star. but being that rock star is important. So I moved to Chile because we saw that there's a huge it was a huge possibility down there, and we completely changed the industry because they didn't know about anything that we brought down there. So we changed it, and now after 2005, they all do the same as we did start at that period. So people still remember me down there when I go there. It's amazing. I'm amazed.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
No, and for other things, I mean, the biggest aquaculture, of course, industry is in China, but they do carp in ponds, and that's not much for me to do there, because they just put the fish in the pond, and that's the garbage can, because the carp eats anything. So that's different. But all over the world, I've been to, Australia. I've been lots to Australia. I've been to New Zealand. That's also for salmon and shellfish. Done projects in Indonesia, India, all over. It's all over. Lots in Europe, of course, but that's
so incredible. I have an interesting question for you. I just thought about it.
Yep.
Besides, I work in financial services, and money is what I teach people. But besides money, what is it that motivates you to? Your passion is who you are, but what motivates you to be the best? You are the best.
Yep. No, it's the future. It's the future generations, because I know that in the future you need food and you need energy, and we have over 70% of the earth is ocean, and it's just growing because it's getting more and more higher and higher. So anything we can do, and most people it depends on the countries, of course, but in regions of the world, they live by the coastline. And I'm fascinated by the sea. I grew up on a small island, so I love the sea. I love being exposed to the sea, and I just want to use it. But I want to use it, not abuse it. So I want to help people do it sustainable, and I know sustainable is it's not a good word anymore, because you use it for anything, but it involves robustness of systems, and it's also involving economy, because if you don't make money, you won't do it. So I want to make effective systems. I want to teach people how to use them properly, because then they can have them for 50 years instead of just using them for 2 years and then changing it. So it's the future. It's just to be able to change something and then make an effort for the future to be easy, I would say, because I don't think it will be easy, because things will change. So yeah, we just need to adapt, and that's also part of engineering, is adapting. So yeah.
Were you always passionate about being an engineer and numbers and work that, or how?
Always curious. So I'm always been passionate about creating stuff and just being into it. I'm a nerd, so that's the thing.
You're not a nerd.
But I love reading and I love learning. Yeah.
What would you? How can you help somebody figure out what are they passionate about?
Oh, that's a hard one. Well, I'm fairly good at asking questions. So if I do a discussion with someone, I will kind of go into the depth and see what they really want to do. But I would also encourage, try everything. Why stop? Why hold yourself back? It's, we're all afraid of something, but fear is just your own kind of boundaries. It's just forget it. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but we should try to do it. If you don't change, you never do anything new. So, yeah.
Yes, I think fear is a big lie, and
Yep.
I agree. I think it's so important to try everything and adjust as you go.
Yep.
What I like to teach my daughter when she says, "Oh, I'm afraid to do this," I say, that's just a lie. Just go for it. Be safe.
Yep.
be cautious about what you want to do, but at the same time try it and see what you need to adjust. And
yeah, and it's also, I mean, it's all, if you want to spend time worrying, well, worry positive then. Think about what you can achieve instead of what you can't achieve. And it's, you can spend the same time doing it, but I think your intentions will actually go through, because if you're worrying about, I'm doing this, yeah, that's a bit better. And I mean, if you think you can or you think you can't, as Henry Ford said, yeah, you're right.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. What are your future plans?
Oh yeah, good question. uh, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book, as Michael Heppel says it. He's from UK, and it will be about weight loss and overcoming the mindset around the weight loss, and forming the habits and focusing on helping yourself. And then I'm just going to try to describe some advice on how to help yourself, how to make the obstacles smaller, because there will be obstacles. I've said this lots of time in my lives, is that it's the only way to the top is uphill. And I mean, it's bad. You will, and that was another one I just read. The only place you start on top is when you start digging a hole. And that's a good one. So
wow, that's so true.
yeah, and it's amazing, but it just start something, and then if you make a mistake, well, learn from it. Don't repeat the mistake, but take the learning and just get experience. The only way to get experience is actually to do mistakes. And it's the same if you want to diet, if you want to train, if you want to start changing, just change. It's easy.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I live in Denver. I'm in Colorado, and there's big mountains here. And I had a meeting. Sometimes I get to go up in the mountains for meeting clients and doing my work. And I realize, because I tend to think so much more when I drive, to like expand, and it's my quiet alone time, right? So I was driving up the mountains, and I realized that on the highway, when the road is flat, there's the two lines or three, four, depending on the where is in the city.
Yep.
But going up compared to going down the mountains, going up there's always two lines. Going down is only one.
Yeah.
So if you want to push and really achieve and get on top, you gotta push and get up and hit the gas when you go up.
Yep.
If you want to do something different, you want to really try harder when you go up, because we all go down. We are all gonna die.
That's easy. Yeah.
And staying in line to going down is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But if you want to get up on top ahead,
yep.
you want to pass, you got to push the pedal hard, right?
Yep. And you have to make it your top. And that's also a big thing, is that you need to, you can't compare yourself to anyone else. It's just, howdy Charles, how are you?
Charles is with us.
Yeah, it's all up, and I think that's part of finding the passion, because you need to actually recognize that this is something you want to do. And there's a huge thing in Norway, I think, especially for Norway, because we are a very rich country. So it's a rich society based on the oil and gas. So we're spoiled. There is very few people without anything. It's very few poor people, because you are taken care of, and you can choose to do that, and that's fine. If that's your choice, perfect. And then, I mean, if you want to achieve something better or something different, but better for me, not better for you. I don't care about better for you. I want better for me. And that's what you should focus on. What's your thing you want to achieve? What do you like to do? And that's also a big thing living in a country like Norway, where you have these opportunities. You can choose anything. I mean, schooling is free. You have some small fees, just symbolic, but it's free. I can get any education. And of course, education, it's not the answer to anything, but if you really do it, if you really want to do the education and you want to use it, you can become the expert instead of just being someone who has a grade or something. But use it, and you can do anything. So there's nothing stopping you when you live in a country like this. And it's not just because it's not the intelligence of the people or stuff like that. It's just the opportunities, because it's the level of the minimum is so high. So it's
up to you if you want to do something or not. But it's the same. I think it's Romania is the same. University, everybody goes to college. Everybody's is very accessible, and so is here. If you really believe and if you really want to do something in life.
Yep.
Yes, the cost of education is very high.
Yep.
Yes, people get out of college with $100,000 in debt.
Yep.
But if you really want to do something, you will find a way, or you will find an excuse.
But and you are, I mean, the opportunities you have in the US with scholarships also, if you really make an effort, you can get the scholarships, and then it's and that's more like what you get in Norway, but you're kind of born into the scholarship. So that's the difference. But still, you have lots of people, because they get the education, and then when they're done with it, they know nothing, because it hasn't been their passion. They just did it because everyone else did it. I had to go to school because my parents said I had to go to school or stuff like that, and that doesn't make you anything. So.
You are such a victorious person. You are so amazing. And I want to ask you, you believe, through your through your physical change, right? The weight loss. You made such a tremendous effort. What would you say? What would you tell somebody that doesn't believe they can? That doesn't, they just need this push. This little.
Well, ask for help. I mean, if you see that you need, let's say you can go to the extreme. You can go to a surgery. You can go to gastric bypass, or you can go to any type of surgery and get help, because that's if especially if you are really heavy and you get into a physical shape that you can't move around. Okay, get help then. Do that. But still, when you've done the weight loss, you need to do something more. And that's the thing about habits and mindset. And I think it's you have to decide you want to do this. And if you don't want to do it, forget it. It's the same with if you abuse anything, because when you're a big person, you tend to abuse food. You can say you're big bone, but if you're big bone, that means your skeleton is 4.7 kilos instead of 4.5. So that's big bones for you. That's half a kilo. It's not 50 kilos.
It's an excuse, right?
Yeah, but it's a very comfortable excuse, because it's kind of, well, I can't do this because of that. Yeah. So, but it's much better just say, look, forget that. This is not right. You can do this, and then all you have to do is start learning. I started when I lost my weight and I kind of wanted to maintain it. I started reading about a natural bodybuilder called Tyler English, and he put up a diet regimen for different body types, and it makes it easier because your body it's basically an engine, so you need a balance of energy. So for certain body types, go for a certain level of proteins, fat, and carbohydrates, and help yourself. Again, help yourself. Learn about food, learn about stuff, instead of just looking at all the commercials about what you should eat or not, or what your diet should be, because it's much better to go active into learning it. So yeah, I mean, and I will tell you, it's not easy, because your body wants to stay. It loves status quo. That's the body. So if you are 20 kilo overweight, yeah, that's more or less where you will end up again if you don't really make an effort to change your habits, and don't just stop them, but change them to fit your need.
Adjust to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same even if we take that to the next level and put it in life, in business, in every day, in relationships, in yeah, it's
and I mean, you need to. I think everything you do, you should do with passion, and then if you do that, I will dare you how much television you will watch. I don't think that will end up being a focus for you if you do it with passion. If it is, that it must be a very good show.
be victorious.
But no, I don't know. It's no, but you have to do it yourself. You can't think someone will help you or rely on someone to help you. You have to do it yourself.
And be ready and be prepared for it. I think so many times we hear so many things. We hear people talk about different things, but we have to be ready to hear and take action and be prepared and really be convinced that is the right thing to do for us, for everything, for anything. You can tell somebody, hey, start a business. If they don't believe that's good for them and they don't believe in themselves, and they don't believe they can lose the weight, they don't believe, it's not going to happen. You have to be prepared to receive the message and go for it.
But you can prepare yourself by help. You can talk yourself to become better, but you still have to focus on what you really want to do, or else it will just be a fake, and that you will see through that. So yeah, you can convince your subconscious of a lot of things, but if it really doesn't believe it, it doesn't work.
The energy is not right. Joachim, where can people find you? Where do we follow you on Facebook?
Mostly on Facebook. I do some TikToks, but as the great Joachim. But they changed something because I go in my mornings. I have a group called How They From Hell, and I do a live probably 1 to 2 minutes every morning, and it's based on what I have read that morning. That's what I'm talking about in that live. And then it used to be in Facebook Live that you can easily download video and share it to TikTok. Perfect. But now I have to do that on the computer, and then I tend to forget it. So, but no, contact me on Facebook, and then I will add you to the How They From Hell group, and you can follow my lives there, because that's basically my content every day, more or less every day. I'm quite constant there when I'm doing my morning routine.
Morning walks.
Outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Lena says taking good care of yourself is a lifetime job.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think the most important person in our life should be us to begin with, and then others.
Yeah.
And taking care of us is the number one job. You're right, Lena.
Yeah.
I'm going to I'm going to thank you for being on my show. I know we didn't.
Thank you for being here.
I feel so bad for holding you longer because
no worries.
It's a long day for you.
Yeah, but it's okay. I talk about a lot more when I'm tired, so that's good for you. So
I know, but I wanna be respectful of your your time, and I truly appreciate you coming to share with us.
No problem.
Your amazing belief that being victorious starts from within.
Yep, it is definitely.
Being victorious means that you have to believe in yourself, and that's what I was talking the other day. I actually wrote a little video. I'm waiting for you to believe in yourself.
And you can go. I think I can see it on here. You can go from here. Oh, sorry, from here to anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So be victorious and be your best.
Be your best.
Yep.
I appreciate you. I thank you, and I will see you in the Grow Live Academy.
Yep.
And I'm following you. I wake up. I think your live videos are a little before I go to bed.
Yeah. It's early in the morning. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning in hell.
Debbie wants to know what's your name on TikTok.
The Great Joachim.
The Great Joachim. We'll have to follow you, and
There's
See
only
what?
one, the great Joachim. So
Yeah, it's true. You are a brilliant engineer. You are an amazing, victorious person, and I'm so honored to have had you here to share your wisdom and your story is victorious to me, and I
thank you.
appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you for being.
Stay with me for one more second. I'm just going to. Scott says, "Thank you, Joachim. Have a wonderful evening."
Yeah, thank you. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Scott, for being with us and for sharing
Yep.
Joachim's story. So I will be right back. Hold on one second. You guys, it's been amazing to have Joachim here. What I've learned is that we have to take care of us, we have to follow our dream, and we have to be powerful in our belief that we can achieve everything we want. It's only a matter of believing. Thank you for watching Be Victorious with Teodora today. I will see you next time. I have amazing guests on Monday. Oh my God, set your calendar, take the day off on Monday morning. We have a phenomenal group of people coming to share with us their victorious way of being. I love you, and I'll see you next time.